Hello and good evening. Welcome to the No Exit Experience, and we're happy to have you here at Think Twice Radio. I'm Jason. With me this day is Vanessa, Richard, Jen, Sal, the Prez. We got Tom on drums, and Celeste remotely with Picasso behind her.
I thought those were Mark Freeland.
Oh, are they? I thought they were Picasso. Well,
yes.
Just remember,
Not Picasso.
I'm not
Mark Freeland.
I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me for the next hour. So I'm going to read our mission statement. I'll read it in French first and then in English after. Alors c'est l'enfer. Je n'aurais jamais cru. Tu te souviens de tout ce qu'on nous a raconté sur la chambre de torture, de vieux et le soufre, le man brûlant, des histoires de bonnes femmes. Pas besoin de te soigner chauffé au rouge. L'enfer, c'est les autres. So this is hell. I never have believed it. Remember all we were told about the torture chambers, the fire and brimstone, the burning marl? Old wives' tales. There's no need for red hot pokers. Hell is other people.
And they're about to...
And that's... the first topic this evening I'm going to say is about Casey Mears. If you don't know who she is, she has been on the nominated for Surgeon General of the United States and 10 months ago and hasn't had a hearing yet. And she was supposed to be on Zoom, but she went into labor. So, and I can guarantee that she had an epidural. The reason I say that is she is not a practicing doctor. She went to Stanford. She was in residency, and she says she quit in the third year of a surgical residency. Those are 5 years. Many people who quit residency, it's quit or get fired. You know, it's your choice. You know, either you can leave nicely, or we show you the hook, and we really make it hurt. And
so you're like invited to quit.
Yeah, they say, no harm, no foul, just resign. And
meaning you don't have what it takes to become a doctor?
There's a whole bunch of reasons why. If you're drug addicted, if you're wackadoodle, if you are screwing in, sexual proclivities in the hospital, if you are making relations with people, if you're stealing things, if you're stealing money, if you're stealing equipment, if you're convicted of a crime, if you get a DWI, if you get a public intoxication and you refuse going to a physician health program.
So if you quit, the reason is never revealed.
Right, it's an HR thing. Like we can't say anything.
Like a settlement.
But the thing is, I even still have a current medical license. So if I get medical advice, no, there's a lot of people that don't, but for other reasons.
Love.
But
like Kiss.
If I give medical advice, I'm not giving that it's not working without a license. She does not have an active license. She's going to be the top doctor in the U.S. without a medical license. So she's not working as a doctor, and she advocates some wackadoodle things like raw milk. Do you know what happens when pregnant women drink raw milk?
They get tuberculosis.
Well, they get, or they can get another mycobacterium, but also they can get salmonella.
Salmonella.
And if you're pregnant and you get salmonella, you're more likely not going to miscarry. So if she's giving advice,
you're not going to miscarry?
More likely than not, you will miscarry.
Okay.
So that's why when if she has to put one of those disclaimers up that says this statement has not been approved by the FDA, this is not meant to treat whatever, she has to say something like that or she'll be practicing medicine without a license. And so now there are at least two doctors in the Senate, but they are both Republicans. There's John Barrasso, who's an orthopedic surgeon from Gillette, Wyoming, or northern Wyoming. He's not from the south side, from Laramie. And there's John Kennedy, who I think he's family medicine. He's the one from Louisiana, and he talks like Andy Griffith. So they will abdicate. I hope they don't abdicate their duty.
He talks like Andy Griffith. Does he think like Barney Fife?
He's a doctor, so he's a step above you. He has more degrees than you do.
I have 98 degrees.
Somebody who's not a practicing physician should not be the top medical doctor of anything. Period.
Yeah, I mean, well, on the flip side, though, in the U.S. Army, to be the Surgeon General, because about 15 years ago, Surgeon General was a nurse. But to be Surgeon General in the Army, by regulations, by law, you can be a doctor, a nurse, a forensic, or an entomologist, a veterinarian, or a medical rescue helicopter pilot.
But do you have to have some real medical training? I can't go be that, right?
Well, the one that stands out there is the helicopter pilot. But everything else is related somehow. If you're a psychologist, if you're a dentist, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor. So that's what. Does anybody have any comments on that? Because Celeste, we're happy to hear from you. Anybody else want to say anything about unqualified people
Well, that's all.
in the cabinet?
That's all he has in that cabinet are unqualified people at every level for every position. So
Okay,
it's like
so
typical.
let's hit it like a truck. Who's next? Start the.
Let's go with this. Since we're on politics, how about this? This Republican senator has a bill to make all pornography a federal crime, and it's advanced to committee. And also, the definition of pornography is going to be very loose. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to use that as a precursor for things such as making stuff like anime. They're going to define that as porn. They'll probably define like transgender people, even if they're like just wearing clothes, because that defies sexual norms. They're setting this all up to define all kinds of things as pornography, and also eventually to restrict public appearance and being able to post photos. And that's part of Project 2025. That's one of the agenda points, and that's
Yes.
coming to fruition now.
Restrict photos. What do you mean?
Photos, like, who asked that? Like, if they say that there's a photo of someone and it's obviously a drag queen, they'll say that's pornography because it defies conventional sexual norms. That's a hot new catchphrase in MAGA land on the far right, is defying sexual norms, which is like strict gender roles and adherence.
One male, one female.
Yeah, to the
period.
typical male, typical female.
No sex before
stereotypes.
marriage. You have to be married. Who is that guy though?
I wish I would have.
Because
Does it have his name up there? No.
yeah,
It
that
says his name is Senator Bill from the GOP.
No, he's a senator. We'd have to
well,
look up the
it won't
name.
it won't get out of committee. But
I hope not.
the one thing about the sex industry is it has driven 8mm filmmaking, VHS tapes, and Betamax, DVDs, MP4s, AVI. It's driven JPEGs. Porn has driven all that, and it's a huge. It should be not the military-industrial complex. It should be the industrial porn complex.
Oh yeah, and all the Republicans really love it the way they crash Grinder whenever they're in town.
Yeah, all the porn will be illegal except for the gay porn.
Wait, you're talking about two different things.
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, it was gay porn?
Well,
It's
no,
all porn. It's all
Grinder
porn.
is for gay men.
That's a gay man hookup site that
Yeah,
the
like Tinder.
Republicans love.
Yeah, and it like I had on a prior show, the way it crashed at during the
Right.
the Republican National Convention and at that Charlie Kirk thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to the Charlie Kirk thing. You know, it's just extemporaneous.
More like-
and they're all hooking up to have relations. Yeah.
More like Charlie Jerk.
So
Do you know what Jason's referring to?
I know what it
You,
is.
that-
from
you remember
the
when
show.
Charlie Kirk died? There was this big event. I think it was in Arizona.
yeah.
Yeah.
So all these Republicans flocked down there to be part of the live event. Grindr said while they were in town, the number of people on the website went up exponentially.
And crashed it because there were so many people looking for dates.
Yeah, it's like the Judas Priest song, Grinder, Looking for Meat.
Hey.
So Vanessa, you can't put the photo and make it big?
What? I did.
Oh, because somebody was saying they couldn't read it.
What? What are you
Well,
talking
because you
about?
put it down in the corner. Put it up. If you
you
can
want
see
the-
us, you can't see it.
Can't you make it big?
yeah.
Yeah, I can make it big. There
Yeah.
it
There you
is.
go.
Someone didn't see that. I thought I had it up for a
Jason,
while.
he
I
said,
didn't see it.
who
Yeah,
is
you
it?
did have it up for a while, and then it switched. But yes,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Switched
it
like Sal,
adva-
Monaco.
advances
right?
to committee. It'll die. Okay. That one's
Nintendo Switch.
So anyway, if I could expound on this thing,
Yeah,
go
we'll
ahead.
put it in the form of a question so everybody can answer it. If pornography was outlawed in the United States, would it improve the quality of life or diminish it?
Diminish it.
Oh,
like
diminish,
crazy.
diminish.
Diminish it.
Freedom of
Diminish it.
Diminish
I
it.
say that
I-
because
I-
the
I-
vice industries
I say diminish.
succeed when all the other industries are wobbly.
Right.
Vice continues to grow.
Freedom of
Sex
expression.
industry,
smoking,
gambling,
drinking,
anything-
gambling. Yeah.
Hey, Jason,
so-
smoking pole.
Nobody wants to talk
Smoking
about
cigarettes,
it.
smoking
That's
dope, or
not-
smoking pole.
I have
Everything's.
to s- I told Vanessa about this. I believe that there should be separation of church and state, and you shouldn't be limiting people's freedoms because they're going to do what they want to do anyways. And all you're going to do is log up the legal system with people that aren't willing to go by the rules.
Which aren't really criminalized.
Oh, lawyers will love that. And who are most politicians but former lawyers?
So here's the second question I ask everybody to answer. Is there any connection between availability of pornography. So the more pornography that is out there, does violence against women go down or go up?
But why are you saying violence against women? Pornography can be man on man. It's not
Now,
just women.
That is a simple question with a multifactorial answer. In other words, I can't answer that in a soundbite.
What do you folks say? Do you think there's a connection
I don't
between
think there's
pornography
any
and violence?
connection
No.
because one is one thing, the other is the other thing. I mean, if
That's right.
If
Well, I'm going
pornography,
to disagree because I know too many women who have terminated relationships with men because of their excessive use.
I got
or
a point here. The ultimate,
Of,
the ultimate
Pornography.
violence against
Pornography
women.
videos
The
and stuff
ultimate.
like
Stop
that.
talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're interrupting her.
You interrupted him.
No.
Yeah, he did earlier.
No, stop.
Okay.
Celeste, please. I was listening to you.
Okay, I'm only going to say, I said there are a number of women I know, and then through various studies, that terminate relationships because of their partner's activity on pornographic sites. They become obsessed, and then many of them want to engage in those acts. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But oftentimes it's like, the no me, no thing doesn't work in those kinds of relationships. And I don't know what causes the brain to develop any particular kind of fetish or what encourages it, but constant
such thing.
exposure to anything is going to promote that behavior.
Okay.
We talked about
Let me
this
make
last
last comment. Last
Okay.
comment.
There's no such thing as fetishes. It's just different interests. Fetish is not a thing. That's a term to disparage people who are into different things, and people are into different things. And from a feminist perspective, the worst violence against women is heterosexual sex, forced to be breeding machines, forced to be incubators, forced to perpetuate samsara. So I would say pornography is much less violence against women than
Okay, you're done.
sex within heterosexual marriage.
You're done, Richard.
Okay, so if you're in a relationship and you find your partner likes to look at pornography, does that improve your sexual life or diminish it?
I could
it
do either.
depends on what your partner is like. Your partner might, if they're adventurous,
Like
and
you.
they might want to engage in these things, and even if they don't, they shouldn't have a problem if their partner wants to.
And
My
that doesn't
husband-
work. I'm
my
trying to tell you
husband-
something.
Well,
Excessive
hold on.
of anything, it causes problems. I think if the two people are equal in their delight and obsession with it,
folia do.
more often
Hand in
than
glove.
not.
Okay, next topic.
Jen was.
OJ?
Jen had a-
We talked
I
about this last week. We determined that was it a good or a bad idea to allow escapism, and basically we determined that what you think is what you become. So you need to fill yourself with good things rather than fill yourself with a whole bunch of bad things.
K-pop
Let's
videos.
keep rolling because
Those are good things.
All right, can Jen
Go
make
ahead.
her point?
No, it's
please?
fine.
yeah. So no,
ahead.
you say
Oh, my ex-husband was really into porn, and I was into cyber sex really heavily for a while. And he had initially okayed it, and then when he got an idea that I was emotionally connected with one of the people I was having cyber sex with, he decided that I was cheating on him. And it eventually got to the point where he claimed that my reading romance novels was pornography.
It could be.
And I pointed the finger right back at him and I said, "You're doing the exact same thing. Don't tell me you're not just because you're deleting your history."
right. The speck in your eye, or the speck in my eye, the plank in yours.
Exactly.
Biblical.
I'll say one last thing, and that's pornography keeps a lot of people who are lonely from going crazy.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Next topic.
Next topic.
Okay. So Vanessa and I, we had a great discussion about how baseball is corporate entertainment.
Oh, that means I got to get over here.
Because
Okay.
as you know, this is the time of the World Series. In
Yeah.
fact, tonight is
It's-
Game 7, winner take all.
Yeah.
So it's a big event in the history of baseball. And I said last night I was watching it, and Vanessa said, "Oh, that's corporate entertainment." Now, I said, well, a lot of things like K-pop are corporate entertainment. So I pointed
Yes.
out how K-pop, there are these like, shall we call them factories in South Korea. And
There's
like
factories
and
everywhere.
they ask
For
kids,
everything.
they say, now if you come to our entertainment factory, and it's sort of like American Idol. If you get in, they put you on the payroll. Okay?
Yes.
Then for the next 3 years, they put you through this grueling boot camp of like
Motown.
dancing, right? And keeping in shape, all right? And then at the end of the 3 years, they decide if you are material that is K-pop.
Yeah.
And if they decide you're not, boom, you're out. It's like you're fired from your job.
No, you gotta let me.
So now, the people who pass that and make it into the now you're material for K-pop, of every 100 kids that make this grade, 2 actually have record contracts. That's how strict they are.
Quality.
Like, okay, you have everything, you got the dancing
Quality.
down, you got the singing down, but we don't really like your looks. We don't think it'll sell. It's all about what's going to sell. And then
Well, that's with anything in entertainment.
if you are one of those 2 people who does make it, then for the rest of your life, you are strictly controlled by the corporation.
Not necessarily.
You are told
You can change
you can't-
companies like
you can't-
Sunmi did.
You can't.
And she's in charge of her own career now, 10 years later.
You can't have a boyfriend. In fact,
that's a
one
good
of them
thing.
had a boyfriend, and she had to apologize to all the fans. I'm sorry that it leaked that I had a boyfriend, because you're this
Yes.
idealized person that is in the mind. It's got 200 million fans,
you gotta let me make my
and they
counterpoint
want
when you're done.
I will. And there is this.
Stop interrupting him.
There's
Okay.
this imaginary world that they have put you in, and you have to fit that role.
Yes.
So I think it's a harsh mental burden to put on these young people.
Okay, there's some very positive things about K-pop, including the messages of self-empowerment and nonconformity, especially from groups like the Seraphim, who are known to have lesbian members, as are Twice, and I really love that because I wholeheartedly endorse lesbianism over the heterosexual rape of women. But I have something to. I have to read this little piece. This is my counter argument. It might. Don't worry, it goes somewhere. It says there is a lineage here. You may not be smart enough to perceive that at first. Okay, here's the first picture. The first picture here is of the Temptations, one of the finest Motown vocal and dancing groups. You probably have no idea who they are because you're all used to things like Led Zeppelin, but sorry about that. That's wrong.
Why is Fred Moore up?
That's completely wrong, but okay.
Oh, no, there's a lineage. Motown set the standard. Berry Gordy was the creator of this whole system that led to things such as the Spice Girls, who are in intermediary evolution within this process. You can blame things like Motown and the Spice Girls for such things as girl groups like currently La Seraphim, the best K-pop group going. It's okay. Even your heroes like Prince had dabbled in girl groups like Vanity Six, turned into Apollonia Six. Rick James from Motown had the Mary Jane Girls, aptly named. It had a double meaning, Mary Jane Girls, and culture on Earth is human culture. Unnecessary borders and imposed fragmentations exist to divide and conquer and to control. I celebrate Earth culture, especially in regards to the universal language of music, and I back that up by, look at this. Black culture. Mixed, you have black and white people here. And then it evolves into Asian. But it's universal. It's an Earth culture. It's music culture. And the roots of K-pop come from the Motown system. If you have a trouble with the whole system he's talking about, you have trouble with things like the Jackson 5 and the Supremes, Martha and the Vandellas, the Marvelettes.
And they all have problems. They all have problems. And those people felt robbed. Some of them died impoverished and unpaid. And the Korean culture, I don't know about, they don't have, I don't know about North Korea, but in South Korea, those people are living in such strict and strident conditions. What Richard is saying is true.
Have you been there? Do you know about Korea firsthand?
I know about the system because I was in the
You can't know unless you know
for 10
firsthand. You can read about it, but you don't know unless you know.
I was in the business for about 10 years. So
What-
all
what
I'm saying
business? Were you
is this.
What
No,
business?
in
The music-
entertainment business.
music industry?
In the production business.
Okay.
All I'm saying is this. those are the Asian groups and some European groups and some American groups. They take ownership over those stars. They take ownership over their properties. And aside from, not having access, Prince being one of them, who started a movement, Britney Spears, thank goodness, who finally got, Taylor Swift finally getting ownership of her work. So I have to say, yes, all the systems are problematic.
All
the
human
systems-
endeavor is a system. All human endeavor is industry.
Well, you don't wanna get
it would be
overly
better to be in the
esoteric.
music industry than to be in a factory or in a field picking vegetables. So it's all relative. Everything on Earth is a corrupt place. All the governments of the Earth are run by the devil. That's a correct thing. The Jehovah Witnesses are correct on.
Okay, does anybody else have a comment?
This is like moving
No.
over to another planet.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
Richard.
Right now, the country that has the highest suicide rate in the world is South Korea. A lot
Yes.
of people who are kicked out of the K-pop movement after spending all this time in it, they devolve into either suicide, alcoholism, or drug abuse.
Or all three.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have any comments on this? Because I honestly don't have anything to say about this. I mean, I listen to the
Next
music.
topic.
Oh, I got a good one here.
Okay, next topic.
The push to repeal the 19th Amendment. Does anybody here know what the 19th Amendment did?
Wait. Let's see. 18
Gave
was
women the right to vote.
Yay!
yeah.
ding, ding,
18
ding, you
was
win the
prohibition.
prize.
Yeah, good eye.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, this stuff's popping up all over fascist book right now. Here's one. Your grandpa was right. Giving women the right to vote was the first mistake we made. J.D. Vance and his buddies even talk about things. They want headship voting, where the man of the house votes for the entire family, and they get rid of voting rights for the wife and the women. And that's part of the push with their so-called ID thing, where your ID has to match a old moldy birth certificate, because you can be disqualified by having a different name, like a maiden name versus a married name. And that's all part of the whole thing that's coming to fruition to establish Gilead.
Well, that actually happened in
The
North
courts ruled
Carolina.
today that the 19th Amendment, there was an appeal, is so far, it was just today, published through Midas and Politico, that it was struck down. So it might revisit again, but it's struck down as of today.
And because if you remember when the Constitution was written, if you were a white man, that was a landowner. So
count so many slaves
they
as a
are a
vote.
change, and
They would count so many slaves as being
3/5 of a man.
Right, 3/5, yeah.
okay. So you needed
Yes.
what, 30? No,
So
15.
no, this 19th Amendment that I think that. Well, why don't we get rid of what was the? Is it the 22nd or the 24th that changed the voting age from 21 to 18? Why don't we make it 21 again?
Oh, they want to. They're pushing. The Republicans are pushing for that. And I read something about Kamala Harris saying it should be dropped to 16. So there's a
No!
fight. Yeah, there's a fight
No.
going on between the two factions. I'm on social media all the time. I'm
I get you.
deep into this cultural shit. So
My point, this is the last point on this topic, because this is very nichey, because there's not a lot to chew up on it. It's either a light on or light off. If you can enlist in the military, why can't you have a beer?
yeah, right. I agree with you.
that.
You know, you can put your
Yes.
life in danger. You can get shot at or shot, but you can't have a beer. You got to have a Coke and a smile.
That was because of the whole drunk
I've said
driving
that since
panic.
I was a kid.
Hey, I got interrupted. It was that whole drunk driving panic in the 80s that Reagan perpetuated. And of course, the Democrats were on the same side, like Cuomo. But it was like a universal thing. It was, you had the satanic panic, and you also had the drunk driving panic, which was like a real overreaction. And that, when they raised the drinking age, that destroyed things like the emerging new wave and punk rock music scenes, places like McVan's that were once vibrant in Buffalo. In the whole punk rock and new wave scene, things like that just disappeared. And I saw it because I was of age when that happened, and they robbed my generation of a fun time that we thought we were going to have, because we saw the previous generation having a fun time when they were 18, and it got robbed from us.
But
and
all-
future generations, and
but-
it should be dropped back down.
But also the previous generation. When was the last time you heard of somebody 52 years old dying of a heart attack, or 48? People just, everybody was smoking, everybody was less healthy, and we're just living longer, living better, so we could still party. And if you think you got to get hammered to party, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, but you know,
Right.
I have another. I have a point here. In life,
You
there
don't know
is
my family.
in life there is in anything, but in life too, there is always the battle between quantity and quality. I'm going for quality of life, enjoying life, doing what you want that you enjoy versus a longer life. I'd rather have an enjoyable life. Quality over quantity.
Anybody have a comment on this?
I don't agree. I think there should be a balance of both quality and quantity.
Well, yeah, that makes
First of
sense.
all,
But like I
second
would,
of
if you have
all-
to choose, I'm going
Hold
with
on.
quality.
You're interrupting Sal.
You're interrupting me.
I don't think that one or the other is as important as a good melding of the both, because like Jason said, we've learned a lot more about not smoking and not drinking and stuff. Like, if our parents had taken better care of themselves, they might still be alive today. And
You know.
you know, and I've seen the long-term effects of things they did for the short-term entertainment, and I really don't
the lulz.
think, I really don't think that short-term entertainment is worth the long-term effects.
YOLO. Okay.
I got one more thing to address. Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
How come whenever I'm trying to have a discourse and a conversation and add points and make things propel forward and present viewpoints, how come when I do that, I get accused of interrupting, but y'all do it, and especially the men here? Is that because I'm
Okay,
a woman?
I'll answer that. No, it has nothing to do with gender. It's because you're loud and you're disruptive and you scream everything you say and you do it at a rapid pace so nobody can interject and you interrupt. That's all.
Because Richard earlier interrupted you and nobody said anything.
Because you interrupt with stuff that is not germane. So when
What
you
do
do
you
that,
mean? It's entertaining.
No, it isn't. It debases your point. It dilutes it.
No.
Okay, that just because you say it doesn't mean it.
Same.
Okay.
Well, keep in
Sasha
mind-
mentioned Deborah Tannen. Do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
Jason, keep in mind she was a shack jack for how many years?
Well, but even so, you know.
I'm not saying that it's right that what she's doing. I'm just saying that she's more concerned about doing entertainment than she is about.
What are you
getting the
talking
point.
about here? Deborah Tannen?
No, you.
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
But that's why if I yell everything I say and I say it really fast, I don't let anybody interrupt. That is
Yeah.
distracting.
It's kind. I think
So
he's.
That's-
my delivery style is your problem.
Well,
Well,
part of it is multifactorial.
It seems that Sasha agrees with you, Vanessa.
of course she does. She can see it. I can see it.
So I agree with Sal. As long as you are in good health, you have a chance to improve the quality of your life. You know, there's the Golden Gate Bridge that people jump off of and
Yeah.
commit suicide.
Oh, yeah.
They had to put
Yeah.
nets up.
Yeah, like the great Billie Eilish song.
So now people will jump off the bridge. You're not interrupting, by the
No,
way.
I'm not.
So it's enthusiastic overlap. So now people jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and the nets catch them. So they get them and they put them in therapy. Every single person who they caught and put in therapy says the same thing. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, every single,
Yes.
bar none.
Huh.
That
Wow.
And the healthier you were, the more likely you were to survive. 'Cause 252 feet. So the water at that speed is like concrete.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the very healthy young men were the ones who survived, and especially if they're muscular.
You like those
Can I just
muscular young
add
men?
that I live with a 15-year-old boy, and I would not want him to vote for a dog catcher. He's a smart kid. He's a good kid, but no. So I say raise the age, not
No,
lower the
no,
age.
no, because
Interesting.
that's case by case basis. You cannot make a blanket statement. That's ageism.
Yeah, you can.
Ageism is one of the things I fight against all the time. I have a topic
Listen,
here. Okay,
As
go on.
working in the education system for many years among teachers and having taught middle school and elementary school, not high school, I'm comfortable in saying that age group is just not. They're driven by they're still growing. They're growing through their brain. Their body is developing. Their hormones are changing. It's a rapid growth period. They shouldn't go to war, and they shouldn't be telling us what to do either.
That's,
You have to
that's-
give them a chance.
That's a
I
blanket
did-
statement. That's a blanket ageist statement.
Well-
That's stereotyping a
Okay.
group based on age.
Well, I disagree with that
Yes,
because
I
there's
am.
classes like special ed. Those are select. And
He's a good rapper.
That
Special ed.
stop. No, he isn't. because I've never heard anything by him. I mean, no special
my problem.
education, because those kids can't. We have to have a separate room. But most of the people in the school, it's a nice majority.
This is the
Yeah.
room.
That's an interesting perspective you have there.
I mean, I agree with Celeste that that as you go higher, then more people fall into the paradigm. There's some on the periphery, but if you have a critical mass that is a majority, that's what's good.
I remember when that amendment passed, and the argument was, if you're old enough to go to war, you're old enough to vote. And few people said, hey, how about raising the age for going to war?
Well, military
See?
industrial complex.
Oh
Yeah, well, my point to that is
Going-
having seen so many elections in college and everything, a lot of the younger people don't take it seriously. But I want to point out a lot of the older people didn't either.
Well,
so
I'm
it's-
going to take one from Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
gonna
And 15-year-olds haven't been punched in the face by life yet.
You gonna bite off an
Right.
ear,
that's a good point, Jason.
Mike Tyson?
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with
Well, you
it.
said you were like Mike Tyson. I thought maybe you were gonna bite someone's
No.
ear off.
Next topic.
Okay, I got a good topic. That ties in.
Oh,
with
wait,
like-
do you have something, Richard?
I have a topic.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Richard, give yours.
Listen to this experiment, and then tell me what you would have done if you were in the experiment.
Kill them all. Oh,
So,
Metallica?
enthusiastic overlap. That's not an interruption.
right.
So the experiment goes like this, and this is true of most experiments. You put an ad in the paper. You say if you come, you'll get a certain amount of money, etc. And then people show up, and then you get enough people, and you have a study. So this is this experiment. You get two people. They come in the room and they sit down with you, and you hold up $100, and you say, "I have $100, and I want to give it away." Now, here's my offer. I give you 20 and I give the other person 80. Do you agree with that? Because if you agree with it, there's your 20, there's your 80. But if you disagree with it and you say it's unfair, then it goes over to the other person and I say, "Oh, they said it was unfair. Do you agree with it or do you say it's unfair?" Now, if person number 2 says, "Yeah, it is unfair," you both get $40. But if person number 2 says, "I think it's very fair," they get the 80 and you get nothing.
where'd the other $20 go?
Well,
Cocaine.
I don't know why. I don't know why they chose those numbers.
Went to cocaine.
Okay.
So anyway, so suppose you're the first one. I say you're going to get 20, they're going to get 80. Do you agree with it, or do you say it's unfair and pass
I say
the
it's
law?
unfair.
Okay.
I do too.
Well, it's inequitable on the face because it's free money. So
Even though you're not going to, you might not get anything. Okay.
Okay, let the
Do they let
press.
them know? Do they let them know that?
Well, there's a second version of this. All right.
Okay.
Where's
So
the
you're
press? I
person
don't see
number
him.
1, but person number 2 hasn't come in the room yet. So then when person number 2 comes in, you say, well, this other person you don't know said it's unfair. What do you think? Do you think it's unfair or do you want the $80?
that I'm having trouble following how it is because any money is free. So even
Right.
if it's inequitable, I'd rather have money in my hand. So I would just take the 20, even if it's unfair.
Would you take the 80?
I would take the 80 if. But what I mean is, I'll take 80. I'll take
Okay.
20. I just don't want to walk out empty-handed.
I
I will
got-
take the 20.
My views on this is math is hard, and also what the hell does this topic contribute to anything good in the world?
What it
It
does
talks
is
about-
it shows what percentage of people view justice and equity above making money.
Right.
Now,
you
like
go.
Jason just said, he values making money above justice and inequality.
Yes.
Did
But
you say
now-
that?
I just said.
He said he'd take the money.
I'd
That's
take
his
20,
interpretation.
or I would take 80. I'd take either one. Whatever.
And
Put
he
money
would
in my
screw.
hand.
He would screw the other person. He would take the 80.
No, he didn't say
Oh,
that. He didn't say
I would
that.
take the 20. Just if I didn't
no,
know
I'm talking
somebody else.
about the 80.
No, I'm saying, give me the 20.
Well, if you take the 20, then you're saying, okay, let's live in an unjust world where I get 20 and they get 80, which is exactly what we have. You see?
That's
So
exactly
the
what we
interesting
had. My
thing is,
thought was-
yeah, go ahead, Celeste.
I would say, let's split it evenly, or I don't want any of it. That would be exactly what I would say.
That's a good
Me
point,
too.
Celeste.
Now, there's an interesting counter experiment where you have two Reese's monkeys and you always give one a grape and the other one a grape. All right. So one day you go in there and you give the other monkey 2 grapes and monkey number 1 0.
Nope.
Okay?
There you go. I want to give him this frame.
Do you know what the monkey who gets 2 grapes will do?
Eat them both.
He'll say, take it away. I don't want to have anything to do with this. So what I'm
Yes.
asking you, Jason, is just to have the same amount of integrity as a monkey.
Good luck. Hey, here's the 2 grapes right here. We got them.
So the results came in. 60% of the people would take the money, and 40% would say, it's unfair. I don't want to have anything to do with it. See what I'm saying? Which
Yeah,
speaks a lot for the world. We just have to convince a few more people to be altruistic to improve the quality of the world. Because right now, the amount of millionaires and billionaires is starting to increase, and the people living paycheck to paycheck and not actually being able
Me.
to. Yeah, that went up in the past 30 years from 40% to 60%.
It's probably higher than
it's
that.
continuing to go. And the only way it's going to stop is if people say, enough.
But you can't eat altruism.
True.
You can, but that's a populistic statement. That means some people are going to have to starve to death to make it work to go over that hump. But everybody individually, they just want a meal. They don't want to hear about Jesus, or they don't want to hear about Muhammad. They don't want to hear about the Buddha. They want bread in their belly.
The great
Right,
Buddha.
but I want the richest people to be taxed, and they won't do that because they control the system, and the system.
That's a separate question. That's totally reasonable, but that's a separate question.
I agree with Sal. I see
so do
this
I.
experiment as pointing to the reason why that is.
I mean, that's a utopistic society that that making the people, everybody pay their fair share.
Well, how about, instead of calling it utopistic, let's look at a practical proposal.
Yes.
Everything you make over $10 million, 90% of it goes to the government.
That happened in the 50s with
It happened recently. Elizabeth Warren said everything
Yes.
you make over $3 million, 3% will go to the government, and a huge amount of money was spent, so that would never make it in the committee.
but when they had the 90% marginal tax rate in the 50s, it only applied to John D. Rockefeller. He was the only person in the U.S. that could have that. Was that in the 40s even?
I think you got bad information.
No, that was the only one. I'll fact check that and I'll bring it next week. I'll tell you that there was only one person that it applied to.
Okay. Is the topic over? Can I get to mine?
Does anybody else have anything to add before Vanessa's ego gets inflated?
I got a big ego.
I think the discussion should be not this particular, but the global one is talking about the difference between equality and equity,
All right.
which is a little different.
Yeah, there's a diagram for that we don't have about the people standing on the same footstools, but one is short and the other one, so the one can see over the fence. But then there's
But
another
that-
one
that
who's
sort
on
of
the one
meets
that's right
that.
there, and it's a short person. They can see over the fence. So I forgot
Yes.
which was which, though. But there's a good diagram that encapsulates that instead of a long, blown-out, bloviating discussion.
Well, I don't understand what you just said. So could you explain it?
That two people of different heights.
Yes.
Two people, they're standing on the same size footstool. But then another one, if you put a higher footstool up, then and the short person, but the other one that's taller has to have a shorter footstool so he can see over the fence. They're all wanting to look over the fence, but equity and equality are not the same.
Okay. I have
But
a,
there's a kind of a relationship there.
Oh my goodness, that is so inappropriate.
It's
This
funny.
is
Why?
this is Sasha this is individualistic. She says your ego isn't inflated, but mine might be. What she's doing is putting her drama there for everybody to see.
Drama,
Wait a minute.
mama.
How do we know she's referring to you?
She just did.
She brings the drama, mama, like ASPA. That ties into my topic. This is a topic that's really dear to me. I want to preface it with something. My mother's part Japanese, and growing up, she always got shit
I'm
for
feeling
it.
Japanese. I feel the vapors.
Yeah. Okay, it's about sex, but which is good. Like good sex with Ruth Westheimer. Remember that?
No, I just did her to her
Well,
with
anyway,
an enthusiastic overlap.
there's a thing. This is a cultural thing. I like to attack. I like to attack racism. I like to attack ageism, and in this this topic, I have both because a lot of people like to say that the K-pop idols. Here's one of my favorite bands. They say that they're young, they're underage. Well, no, Asian women are smaller, more petite. My mother was. They look younger. They just age slower than your typical Caucasian. So here, last week, someone was saying that the K-pop group Twice were underage. Here's the actual ages of them: 28, 28, 26, 30, 28, 26, 27, 28, 28. They are not underage. They might look young. That's
Yeah,
part of what being Asian is.
Yeah, that was what the comment was, that they look young, so they appeal to
white
people's
people.
fantasies of having sex with underage kids.
To
Well, that's-
Caucasian
that's the-
normative society. Yes, she
That's-
just turned 29.
That's
today.
the porn again, that because like I said that was a joke in one of the softcore movies was, oh, you just turned 24, you can't do the virgin thing anymore, now you got to do MILF porn.
Well,
I don't
guess
know what that term means. I
cultural
don't wanna
perception.
Mature, going from being the girl playing, instead of playing the role of younger, she has to play older now.
know. Okay,
You're right. You don't want to know what it means. Go ahead.
Especially you.
right.
You don't want to know what it means? Well, I want to know what it means. What's it mean?
You know what a MILF is.
Oh, yeah, I do.
All right, then.
Man,
Next topic.
Man, I'd
Sorry,
love
yeah,
to
that-
fuck.
I didn't even
MILF.
figure out what the
Come on,
topic was.
talk about my topic. I hate it when you gloss over my topic and nobody will address it. Come on, I want to hear what you guys
All
have
right,
to say
what's
about
the
this.
topic exactly?
I don't have
The
an
whole
opinion on it.
The whole thing
I don't
about
have an opinion on
Asian
it.
Thank you.
K-pop
Even
women.
child pornography.
I agree
They're
with you.
looking
I
young.
don't
They
believe
look
promoting
younger.
Child pornography.
I agree they look
They
young.
look younger because they are Asian and that's how they look.
See,
but
I
people
told
over here
ya.
want to say that they look like they're 17 and 16. They're not. They might look it to you from your cultural bias within this society.
Right, there
but
is a
within-
cultural bias.
But within Asian society, or if you know anything about Asian society or culture, they look their age to that culture. But people here in this culture want to keep attacking them and saying, "Oh, they're underage. They look underage." No, they
What
look like
kind
young.
of numbers are
They
you
look
talking?
like young
I don't
Asian
even
women.
know what this
I don't
is.
think there's any point
Well,
there.
yeah.
There is a point.
We agree with you. What you're saying is true. So we're not arguing with you. We're
Okay,
just
thank
saying
you
that-
for
yeah.
at least saying
Richard.
Well,
something.
I'll say one thing, okay?
Yeah.
The American public want to believe what they want to believe, regardless of what the actual facts are.
That's true.
They want to believe that furries are sexual in nature. They want to believe that certain interests lead you toward bad ways. So the fact that these girls look younger and they're not is just a fact. But no matter how you tell people, they're going to believe what they want to believe because they don't believe the facts. They just believe their own
Perception.
Bias.
perception. Just
Hugh
like
Hefner was the promotion of the schoolgirl fantasy, right? He
Yeah.
always had centerfolds. His girls were never underage, but they were deliberately made to look like schoolgirl and created that whole euphoric fantasy about them.
Yeah, so Richard, what's your point?
I agree with Celeste. At the K-pop factory that they emerged out of, they were selected because they look underage. If
No.
they didn't look underage, they
look-
would have been given the boot.
No, that's
No,
you got to
no.
stop yelling because
No, they look Asian.
you know
they
what's
look
the thing?
Asian and they look their age.
If you see the people that were in the Star Trek shows, like in The Next Generation, when they were out of makeup, man, they looked their age. They were a lot older. Like Robert Beltran, that guy looked old. The way they made him to look, everybody looking younger. That's the whole point, and that's marketing. And you screaming about it
men
isn't going
don't
to change it.
fuck-
I'm passionate about this. That's why I screamed. To
That's
try to
why
get my
they-
point through all the thick skulls that
having
won't listen.
visited
Yeah.
both China and Hong Kong, when you see the people, are they diminutive people? Yes, they are. I did not see any that are defying time.
Yeah, there's 1 billion people in China. You can't, and 93% of them are Han Chinese, so you can't individualize
when
it.
No, it's a cultural thing. Asian people tend to look younger longer. It's a thing, and you can
know-
see this in the K-pop groups. I mean, you have these girls who are
They're made
29,
up to the
20,
nines.
30,
You
and
don't see them without. You don't see them without eyelashes and.
oh, sometimes you do.
foundation.
There are candid shots. There are candid
Okay, well, I
shots
don't
too.
follow K-pop.
Yeah,
I
this
just
horse
haven't
is
been to
beaten-
Hong Kong and China. I don't feel that. They're
actors.
small people,
Sometimes
they have
actors.
characteristics, but I don't see them, defying time.
Sometimes actors are picked because they look younger, because they want to, someone wants to do a movie about 15 or 16-year-olds, but they don't want to go through the trouble of hiring
Olivia
15,
Newton-John
16-year-olds.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
look at
So-
Grease from 1978. Stockard Channing was 29 playing a high school girl.
In 90210,
Yes.
Dylan, a.k.a. Luke Perry, was 27 when he played the character.
Yeah, so it's not unique to the K-pop, and it's not
But
really
it is unique that they get bashed consistently for being underage when they are not.
By who?
Harry
Where?
Potter gets
It's a cultural thing in
Yeah.
this country, and I encounter it all the time. I encounter it just about every week here whenever I bring
know,
this
so
stuff
you know-
up.
Some ignorant people bash Harry Potter for being witchcraft. That
And-
doesn't
well,
mean
it
it's
is.
true.
And I'm going to say this is the last comment on that. Asian communities, you are insulting every one of
No,
them by
I'm not.
saying Asian because they don't mix. That everyone
Oh,
thinks that
oh.
the Koreans don't mix with the
You're-
Japanese.
You're
they don't.
wrong. These groups, La Seraphim has 2 Japanese women. There's a Taiwanese woman. These
No,
K-popers
I'm talking about
are
having
not
sex and
just-
joining their families together and making. The cultures don't overlap. That the Cambodians and the Laotians do their own
Within-
things. The Vietnamese do.
I'm only talking about the music industry and the K-pop groups.
You
and
can't
they
take
are
the grain out of the wood.
Comprised of different.
What's the next topic?
Asian?
Yeah, that we're done. That this you keep saying this, and every time you say it more, isn't going to change things.
That won't change the truth, which is what I'm speaking.
She's doing the Jim Prey thing. She's repeating the same things over and over again.
Like you don't.
Well, what's our next topic?
I think the Sal has something to say.
What do you have, Sal?
I have,
Prez.
I have a couple of quick ones. I had a.
Where is he?
I had a riddle. It was. I considered it a joke at the time. 1 + 1 = 3. Anybody know what the answer is?
You did your math wrong.
No.
I don't know.
Then what?
A man and woman get together, have a kid. 1 + 1 = 3. I was like in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 + 1 = 3 when there's like sexual union and a third thing emerges.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought of that in grammar
Isn't that
school.
brilliant? That's
What
math.
what
Math
starts
is
on
hard.
4, goes on 2, ends on 3.
What?
Say that again.
A man.
Man,
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's the riddle of the Sphinx. That's
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit
starts
better.
on
I remember that.
4 crawling and then goes to 2 legs
Walking.
and then walking with a cane.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
Jen's.
So what's your another one?
Another one is 2 things lead to patience. What are they?
An ambulance and waiting. I don't know.
A doctor and the Holy Spirit.
You mean the Holy Ghost?
Well, they used to
It's the
call
same
him-
thing.
Yeah, they used to call
I
him the Holy
know.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Don't blaspheme him, okay? You don't
I
wanna
may
do that.
curse, but I do not blaspheme.
You don't want to blaspheme the Holy Ghost. No, that's very bad. That's the one thing you won't be forgiven for.
I want to see this.
And then why? And the last one that I had was,
oh, yeah.
why does it always seem like the meanest people are the ones in charge?
Yeah, the meanest people are the
Oh,
ones
that's
in
an easy
charge.
one.
That's how they get there.
That's an easy one because it's a group. It's really cultural because if you have a Pacific Islander in line with somebody from Central Europe, the Pacific person will let them go ahead, and the Central Europeans will push. I know of an anecdotal story, a woman that said she's standing in line and there's a German woman behind her. There's nobody else in line, and she's pushing on her. There's nowhere to go. And this German woman was pushing her.
Okay.
That's a European cultural thing, and it's a Polynesian cultural thing to let people through. So nice guys finish last because
Right.
if you are asocial, antisocial, you can go further because you don't have emotion to bear you down, and if you don't care what other people think of you, then you can go as far because if you kowtow to other people's opinions, you
So-
end up getting subsumed by that.
Okay.
So
That happened to my ex-husband too. He just decided he was autistic, and he decided one day that he didn't care what people thought of him, and he became extremely greedy and selfish.
Did he get rich?
No,
Oh, okay, Richard, your comment.
Oh, Rich. Oh,
I
gotta-
liked your comment to Vanessa earlier about don't stereotype Asian people, but I was taken aback when you just stereotyped Polynesian people.
Oh, there we go.
Let me put it this way. I experienced it with
Inconsistency.
Samoans, I experienced it with Hawaiians, and I experienced it with Tahitians. So the ones I know. the ones I know.
So you're not stereotyping. You're just saying this is what I concluded from my personal
Yeah,
experience.
yeah. I mean,
My mother's
and
Japanese,
for- but they're not Polynesian in Japan.
no, you're talking about Asian and saying I don't know about Asian when I'm part Asian.
It's not black and white. That's a fallacy. It's in Richard's bathroom. It's on the board of fallacies, the black and white fallacy. It's shades of gray.
I like the Monkees song.
Okay,
That's
next
cool.
topic.
We were talking about the whole thing about money and stuff. How about this? Here's something. Billie Eilish just gave millions of dollars
Her
away.
speech.
She says, why are the mega rich allowed to have their wealth to accumulate? And people need to have empathy and help in our country. So she gave away about 10.5 million to charities this week. And I'm saying that like a lot of these girls in the pop music scene, from like Sabrina Carpenter giving a bunch of money to transgender charities, and I forget, I think Dua Lipa did, and so did there's another one who did, Chappell Roan. But I'm saying that these girls in pop music that people like to malign and say they're so horrible, they're actually doing more than politicians are for people in this country with their altruism.
Who's doing the maligning?
Oh, you're not on social media enough to
politicians
see all
are.
this.
And you know the thing about it.
Politicians and their followers and all your massive amount of sheep that just keep reposting the same hate comments
Right,
over and
and
over.
you know what? Give the
Eilish
people
asked
what they
all the
want.
Millionaires to contribute. She said, "There are many of you in this room who have more money than I do," and she's giving away her millions. She is joined by others, but she called on because there was the uber growth of billionaires, as Richard pointed out earlier in 2024. You know, the skyrocketing, they keep adding. So her stand was, listen, everybody, y'all got the money, give it up.
Right.
And that's really
And
what
that's
was.
that's a good political statement.
And you
Yeah.
know, with
Yeah.
the rise in social media, people writing down the shit that they think of, that they should just think of and not put into cyberspace where it's going to be forever. All the stupid stuff that you think of and you don't say because you say, yeah, that's kind of dumb. They enumerate that, and then it's there forever. And remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and most of them stink.
Hey, Sal, do you have something to say about that? I remember he brought up that quote before, and you had something to say about that quote. And I'd like to hear it. If you remember.
I don't. Let me see if I can remember. Because opinions. The statement that opinions are like butts is true. So you're talking about a true statement, which means truth exists. So there's a difference between opinions and truth.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point of it. That I think and what is are not the same. I think
Well,
that
the other part too might be that a lot of these statements are AI generated now. You don't know who's making a real statement, if it's a real person, or if they're fabrications of people trying to flood, right? Trying to flood and sway.
and
So
also,
I don't really pay attention.
well, not everybody has an asshole, though. That's the thing that I forgot. That if you have colon cancer, you can get an APR or an LAR, an abdominal perineal resection or a low abdominal resection. I forgot which was which, but one leaves you with an asshole. The other one leaves you with an ostomy. There,
But-
I had to correct. So not everybody has an asshole.
Oh, no, you still have the asshole, though, but it don't work, right? The ostomy
No,
is
no,
taking
they
over the
remove
function.
it. They
totally
sew-
remove it?
they sew it
were
up.
Born with
Oh,
it. You
wow.
were born with it.
I thought it was still there, just not functioning.
No, you can be born with an imperforate anus. Okay, Richard.
All right.
I love Celeste's comment about social media not always being real.
Neither
It's
is
this
show.
it's this world you enter into, which is like you can't determine what's real and what's not real.
What
Is
does that say?
good?
Put that up again.
Isn't that great?
Is that good for your mental health? To get into these little quibbles about things that might be real, might not be real.
Can you put that picture
No.
up again and finish reading it?
The world you were born in doesn't exist, just like this picture. Everything is fake. And those masks sucked. That attacks things on multiple levels, including false nostalgia.
So yeah, so that's why when I find people that delve into these little quibbles on social media, I will often say, I don't think you're doing your mental health any favors by participating in these little jousts.
Yes.
Well, people just have to get the last word, or they have to win. You know, like lawyers, they just see it as playing a game. In well-practice trials, when they go to trial, you're just maligning the doctor. You know, the doctors, if they don't drink, they start drinking. When they get sued, if they do drink, they drink more. If they take drugs, they take more. They have mental health problems, and the lawyer goes home and sleeps in their bed.
I did like that statement you make. There's a difference between what you think and what is. That's a beautiful statement, because what essentially you're saying is there's the world of your ideology and then there's the world of the real. And they're not the same thing necessarily.
I
But-
was thinking more along the lines that there's opinions and truth.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, but truth.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, the president, I think, totally different on this. He says there's opinions and truth. I say there's all opinions, and then there's the real world that you live in.
What is real?
And
Define
what's
that.
different?
What is real is when you say, I'm starving.
This world is an illusion.
Like you said earlier in the week, you said, I'm starving.
I didn't say I was starving. I said I starved when I was young.
And that was real.
Yeah, well,
Well,
within the parameters of this dimension.
I give the
And
example.
what is real is when you shoot that liquid into your belly before you eat.
Yeah, it's called
That's
insulin.
real, right? Or when you were in the hospital for diverticulitis, that's real.
Well,
Well,
that's
real doesn't always have to be negative. Why are you saying real is negative?
I'm not saying it's
No,
negative,
that's
but I
his
wanted to
bias.
give you examples.
Give me a positive example.
You're right. Positive examples. How about that? Yeah, his
Well,
bias
hold
is
on,
always
though.
negative.
I'll give you one.
Well, I have an example to go to yours that about the perception and the reality. People that have dental pain swear it's this big. They say it's huge, and it's the size of the ball in that ballpoint pen.
Right.
That less than a millimeter.
Well, that's the effect of human existence. That's
Okay,
just
well-
the way it is.
Yeah, we can't change that. So what was
Richard?
Oh, yeah. Something that is real and it is positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When anybody puts the cuff on, takes their blood pressure, and sees that they're 120 over 80. That is such a
Yes.
good feeling because it's real and it's positive.
but at the
Well,
same
it's positive
time,
because you're avoiding death, but you're still foreseeing death as the result.
Or if you want to bring death into this, it's anybody who says, I know I'm going to die, but I'm going to make the amount of time left on earth as meaningful as possible.
That's a better way to put it.
Live-
What is
live like
the
you were
meaning of
dying.
life? Is there meaning?
people dying everywhere.
There's no
Fear
meaning.
and sorrow
It's just
fill
is.
the air. Oh, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday. That's a song my mother would sing.
It's pretty
What about the
morbid.
song that says "Live life like you were dying"?
That was Toby Keith,
Toby Keith. Okay.
who's dead. Okay.
Is he dead?
Yeah, didn't he die of cancer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's something real and positive. They found a black tiger alive in India.
Is it melanistic or is it another species?
I think it's melanistic.
Okay. Well,
Unless it is another species.
Oh,
gotta look
we
into
have
that.
less time for than we do for our topic. So does anybody last topic? This is last topic. Anybody?
Jason watched the movie Stalker from 1979.
I haven't gotten all the way through it yet because
Are you
it's
still watching it?
Yeah, it's 3 hours long. But the thesis is it's Andrei Tarkovsky, who, if you are Russian, you know who this guy is. Because if you remember that movie Solaris with
Clooney.
George Clooney, done by Steven Soderbergh. It was a remake of the 1972 version of Solaris that was based on a story by a Polish guy, Stanisław Lem. And Solaris was a planet where your dreams or your thoughts become real. And this was another one by Tarkovsky about a post-apocalyptic world. And the stalker, we think a stalker is somebody, a criminal, but in this case, stalker, like Sherlock Holmes wore the deerstalker cap.
Okay.
They were going to look for alien artifacts in this zero zone, in the zone, which is radiation, and they would sell those things for a lot of money. That's the thesis.
So Jason said to me, he said, I'm getting a vibe from this movie that it's like the famous play Waiting for Godot, where two people are on a journey and they're trying to find Godot, who some people say they're trying to find God, and then Godot never shows up. But instead somebody comes and says, oh, at the end, I just want to let you know, Godot's not going to be here today. And then they got to decide, now what are we going to do?
Because
All
in
right.
French, it's en attendant Godot, while waiting for Godot.
Oh, hey, why do you do the intro in both French and English? Is that for the Canadians?
No, because it was written in French. We close
for
is
the-
the name of the play in French, and because we close doesn't mean no exit. The we close is may we approach in a courtroom.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
so that's what they say. We close, Monsieur. And
So in the film Stalker, I said that's a beautiful analogy. They're on a journey, just like Waiting for Godot, and they're trying to find what in their ideology is very valuable. It's called The Room, where all your wishes are granted.
Yes.
And the difference is in The Stalker, you know what happens when they get to the room?
I don't think all the wishes that you wish for are something that you would want to get.
When they get to the room, they're all afraid to go into it.
Like here,
22 seconds.
I'd be afraid to come into this room.
Have a great night,
Go look at
everybody.
the set for the new Broadway version of Waiting for Godot. It's extraordinary.
Oh, thank you, Celeste. Did they
Thank you
change
for
the Did
tuning
they
in.
change the play or just act it well?
8 seconds, Richard.
They changed a little bit.
Okay,
I haven't seen
let-
the whole thing, but the
Last
set
3
is
seconds, we're
like a
done.
big
Good
show.
night, Celeste. Good night.